Hey, yo, you can't always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you think, how you respond, and how you rise. See, that's what separates the average from the elite, the ordinary from the unstoppable. Your mind, your will, your emotions. See, if you don't master them, they'll master you. Now, every champion you admire, from Kobe to Serena, from MJ to Tom Brady, they weren't just physically gifted, y'all. They were mentally conditioned. They mastered the inner game, the voice in their head, the emotions in their gut, the focus under pressure. See, that's what resilience is. Not just bouncing back, but bouncing higher. When you get knocked down, do you stay down or do you rise with intention? See, mastering your mindset is a discipline. It's not one decision, it's 1,000 micro decisions every single day. You train your body in the gym, but when's the last time you trained your mind under pressure? The people who perform at the highest level, they practice peace and chaos. They choose patience and pain. They stay locked in when most would tap out. Why? Because they've done the inner work. See, I didn't learn this from a textbook. I learned it in a cell. 10 years of prison gave me pressure you can't fake, but it also gave me my perspective. It taught me how to take control. Take control of the only 3 things I ever had. That's my mind, my will, and my emotions. And I made a choice. I wouldn't let my past define who I was going to be. I never let my past define me. I let it refine me. See, you got that same power. And if you want peak performance, then you got to treat your mindset like a muscle. Train it, test it, fuel it. You do that through conscious living and through reflection, through self-talk, through rituals. Rituals that keep you grounded and sharp. See, every athlete has a routine. Every CEO has a morning formula. And every elite performer has a mindset they protect. Now, what's yours? See, this ain't hype, y'all. It's real work. And real work builds real resilience. So I ain't here to just inspire you. I'm here to challenge you. Look, I need you to control what you can. I need you to master what matters. You may not control the outcome, but you can control your effort, you can control your energy, and you can control your execution. One more time, you control your effort, your energy, and your execution. You don't need more motivation. You need more discipline. And that starts in the mind. It starts with you controlling your effort, your energy, and your execution. See, you were never meant to fold under pressure. You were built to perform in it. And this is your reminder, y'all, to train your mind, master your emotions, and to strengthen your will. Because if you can master the inner game, you'll dominate the outer one. And I'm gonna say it like this one more time, y'all, because if you can master the inner game, you'll dominate the outer one. Now let's get real. Most people, they won't do the work. Not because they can't, because it's easier to blame the world than to face yourself. See, it's easier to scroll than to sit in silence. It's easier to react than to reflect. See, it's easier to say I'm trying than to live like you've already decided, y'all. But the elite, they move different. They build habits around excellence, not feelings, not hype, just excellence. You hear me? They don't just show up when it's easy. They lock in when it's hard. They don't need perfect conditions. They just need a reason. And for them, their why is stronger than any excuse. You want to win? You got to be willing to be alone in your discipline, to be different in your decisions, to say no when everybody else says yes. Because average is always loud. Mediocrity is always crowded. But mastery is quiet. It's lonely. It's built in the dark. And when nobody's clapping for you, guess what? Mastery's being built. When nobody's watching, guess what? Mastery is being built. Champions are being born. And that's when you decide who you really are. Now don't get it twisted. Resilience, it doesn't mean nothing phases you. It means you feel it, but you don't fold to it. It means you bend, but you don't break. It means you cry, wipe your face, and keep it moving. You lose? Yeah. But guess what, y'all? We learn. You fall? Yeah. But guess what, y'all? We fell forward. You hear me? That's the difference. Because you're not just fighting for a goal, you're fighting for the version of yourself that's buried under comfort, under doubt, and under distractions. You're fighting for the disciplined you, the focused you, the elevated you, the unbreakable you. You've seen glimpses of that person. You felt it in the moment of clarity. Now it's time to live every day like it, every rep like it, every step like it. So the question now is simple. Will you wait for the breakthrough or will you train for it? Because breakthroughs don't happen by accident. They happen through alignment, through preparation, through relentless repetition. If your life feels like it's on repeat, make sure it's not because you're repeating the wrong patterns. You gotta rewire the loops, y'all. Restructure the thoughts. Rebuild the habits. This is a mental renovation. We need to tear down what's no longer serving us, y'all, and then build it back up, brick by brick. What will? Now repeat after me. Say, today, I decide I will lead my emotions, not follow them. Today, I will decide to control my energy, not leak it. Say, today, I will align my actions with my vision. Say, today, I will align my action with my vision. Say, today, I will align my action with my vision and not my feelings. Because feelings, they're fleeting. But purpose is anchored. And when you live on purpose, you move different. You're not meant to just exist. You're meant to excel. You're not here to just survive. You're here to show others how to thrive. Listen, I want you to know that you're the example, that you're the evidence, that transformation is real. And power, it comes from within. So the next time life tests you, I need you to remind yourself that I've trained for this, that I'm built for this, that I was born for this. Because when the mind is right, the rest is going to follow. Now always remember, the only way out, y'all, is through. And that's what we do at AWOL, y'all. We fight, we win, we stay strong. AWOL strong.